Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. This is an abnormal Deucecast Extra in the sense that we are not talking about Marvel, Star Wars, or Yellowstone-esque show. We're talking about a DC property, which is a rarity for the Deucecast Extra. I don't think we've done that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryfen. We haven't done a DC movie before, have we?
No, we had plenty of talks about Wonder Woman 84 when it came out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we probably did.
But not on
this
Deucecast Extra.
This is going to be all about the Batman. And there's not. Look, we're not professionals. We have no real format.
Speak for yourself.
In this, yeah, there's nobody in the chat right now. Mostly because
we invited all the people.
I know. Mostly, I invited
all the
everyone.
Listeners are on the panel,
and it's a spoiler filled. Like, if there's probably some people who haven't taken the 3 hours it takes.
We know Nick hasn't.
We know Nick hasn't. So there's several folks that usually hang out that have not seen.
Ozzy's a school night.
Yeah, Ozzy Nate's a school night. So yeah,
I didn't find any great reveals that I consider spoiler in just watching the show. Like, it was like nobody ever spoiled you on like an episode of Cheers, right? You're like, oh no, don't tell me, I haven't seen it yet. Oh well, they drank and Norm walked in. Like that,
right.
Like all of this was stuff that I expected and didn't really surprise me, I guess.
Right. So, I mean, let's at least be a bit formal and do some intros here. We, of course, have Ryfen hanging out. How many times have you seen the Batman so far? Not 6, right? Like you did Spider-Man.
I've seen it once. This is kind of a film that, in my opinion, is not as rewatchable as Spider-Man was. That's not to say I don't like. I love a lot of this movie, though. I do have some criticisms I'll get to later. But one time so far.
Okay, and Roth in Wyoming. How many times have you seen it so far?
I have also only seen it once. Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Dolby Atmos Theater.
Thursday, and you guys call yourself fans.
I didn't have a Tuesday screening.
Rhett and I went on Tuesday, the real fans.
Mikey, gas prices right now are ridiculous. So if you're asking me to drive an hour to Jacksonville,
I filled up my truck and it was $100 last week.
Holy crap!
$100 to fill up a car today.
And what he's not telling you, it's a 5-gallon tank. So that's super expensive. Yeah, I've got a little like Honda Civic hybrid. Long story as to why I have the car, but I was just perusing the prices for other people, and like 15 gallons was like 60 something bucks. I was like, dang. And it still cost me about 20 to fill my little crappy car up. But
21 gallons of 93 octane today, $100.
Wow. Great.
I have a Toyota Solara, so if you want to.
What's a Solara?
It's a Camry.
What does Solara mean?
Something to do with the sun.
Yeah, it's normally a convertible, but this is actually my grandma's. This is a long conversation, but
it's okay.
She traded in the convertible for the sunroof version, and that's what I have now. So
so
you have a convertible. Wow.
Yeah, you have a convertible. Look
no, I just sunroof.
The sunroof.
Oh, you have the sunroof. She has the convertible. Is that?
When I was first like attempting to drive, and my dad was like, "Okay, we're going to go get you a car." I was like, "I want to get a convertible," and Dad was like, "The only convertible I'll buy you is a Sebring," and I was like, "No, Dad, just I don't want a Sebring." For anybody Rhett and I's age, you know how like grandma looking a convertible Sebring was. I mean, it's pretty rough, but Rhett. Somebody must be like masquerading as you in the chat, Garrison.
Well, he's got a fan in there.
He's got a fan in this. It's very surprising. That's interesting. Rhett, so how many times have you seen it? Just the once?
Yeah, just the once.
Okay.
And
all right.
Probably might be it forever.
Wow.
Now, I mean, not to pull back the curtain at all, but your Spawn, your daughter, generally goes to these comic book movies with us. Not a fan of the Batman, though.
Well, no, she went. I guess the last DC movie she went to was, I guess maybe she went to Aquaman. I can't remember. I know she went to Justice League though, and that may have turned her off to the entire concept of cinema of movies.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, she had no interest. in this. I mean, she knows Harry, what's his name, Harry Pattinson from Harry Potter.
Right.
She hates Twilight like she should because she's my kid, and I made sure of that. And beyond that, she doesn't know anything about him at all. Right?
No, it's totally.
You know what? That's not true. She saw Tenet. I
thought he was good in Tenet.
I think he's great in Tenet.
Yeah, he was really good in Tenet.
Yeah, so this was not her jam, so she set this one out.
You mean she doesn't like the movie where the guy looks at the girl through the window and she finds that really hot and not creepy at all?
No, he's 100 years old and he's appearing in the he's watching a teenage girl sleep.
Yeah,
that's not weird. That's not
at all.
When you first said watching a woman through the window, I thought you were talking about the Batman.
Yeah, he does that too. Yeah.
He does that a lot in the Batman. What's to say about this film? I mean, there's a lot to say, obviously. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I thought it was very well done. And this might be like taking it too far, but I was really perturbed that Matt Reeves, for whatever reason, chose not to film some scenes in IMAX. I'm just so used to that with Batman films that there were several scenes where I would have loved to fill up what is that, like 1.9? I don't know any of the. I would have loved it
190 to 1.
Yeah, I would have loved it to fill up the whole thing because there were some great scenes that could have used that. But Reeves chose not to do that.
Yeah, there was a low tech feel to the entire thing.
Right.
And it was obviously dark. They keep getting dark. In 2030, the new Batman movie will just be a dark screen with some whispered grunts. That's all we'll see. But it had and I think maybe that aspect ratio and that type of camera would have undone some of that. It may be because this was a small scale story. It was a noir. You don't see noir in IMAX, right? Yeah. So I maybe that was it. I don't know. I haven't read that that was a creative choice.
Well, it would have to have been, right? I mean,
it is.
You're creatively choosing not to film in IMAX.
Can I also say that the thing about IMAX is a lot of the directors frame it for a consistent aspect ratio. The IMAX a lot of the times is just an added bonus that they throw in there in the theaters. Yeah. They really see their vision as the 239 a lot of the time.
Yeah, you get some things on the on the edges of action, but nothing that contributes to to the visuals all that much. It's just a little bit more. And I sometimes I don't even notice it. I mean, I guess I notice it in effects heavy things more. Because it's often those scenes are digital heavy, right. So I didn't really miss it. I thought the way it was shot suited the story and the theme and kind of the direction of it. So it didn't bother me. I didn't even notice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like Reeves. Potentially he was trying to make it feel like the animated series, right? I mean, I feel like that's kind of some of the aesthetic he was going for, especially like with the tech. You know how the Dark Knight trilogy was so technically or like techno driven, like everything was like technology heavy. It felt like that this particular movie, even though it had some technology in it, it felt like they made it look like stuff in the animated series.
Yeah.
They made it look like Batman.
Yeah.
It suited Gotham more, frankly, than a tech-heavy approach.
That's right.
Gotham is. It's not. I mean, it's just lower tech. I mean, it's obviously it's supposed to be kind of the seedier side of New York. I think what we've seen a lot of is Chicago. All those Nolan movies where that was Chicago. It was so obvious to Chicago. It didn't feel like Gotham at all.
Yeah.
Well, so
the slums did, but
the slums, yeah.
I mean, technically, Metropolis is supposed to be New York, and Gotham is sort of the equivalent of Chicago in the original, right?
Yeah,
in the original books, but
yeah.
But I'm not saying it's supposed to be like pretty Chicago.
Yeah, I mean it's all a creative choice. I mean there's some variance between by whoever's doing it.
Sure.
Problem with Batman comic continuity is it's so screwed up at this point. I'm pretty up to date on some of the big event DC stuff, and it's just stupid. It's just dumb. Don't even look up the Batman Who Laughs. It's just so dumb.
The Batman Who Laughs?
Yes, it's a multiversal Batman that came and was destroying every other universe, and of course, blah blah blah, rebooted universe, blah blah blah.
By the way, guys, sorry I'm late. I was trying to create a Riddler type mask, and it just fell apart. I couldn't do it.
The duct tape.
I was come in as the Riddler with my duct tape.
Yeah,
you forgot the Saran wrap.
that obnoxious like that sound like every time he. That was me doing some Foley work. I don't know, guys.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. Yeah,
that's solid. That's solid.
Expect the calls to start coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael's like a duck.
Is anybody in the chat? The chat.
Yeah. So we're all here. No, we're all on the show. We're all on the show.
Hey,
wait a minute. Matt's here.
We're calling them out.
No, Matt's here. What's up?
Thank you, Matt.
Had to get the kids that look. We all understand. Mm-hmm. I had to get Jacob. I had to get Jacob tucked in, and he got his camera working. No, actually, Ryfan's younger than. I don't know why I called you. I should have said Ryfan there. You're actually older than Ryfan.
Grunge Batman. Are you? So tell me about the grunge Batman.
Oh, well, I mean, that's Robert Pattinson. He is grunge Batman.
He's emo Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, no, people keep calling him emo Batman. I think grunge Batman.
I think grunge. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that fits a little bit better. I mean. In fact, that's certainly what Matt Reeves was going for using Nirvana.
Nirvana.
That's true.
He said he wrote the entire script while listening to Nirvana. So
yeah, but the constantly running eye makeup is emo. So
well,
that's true.
That's more of the Cure. That's more like that guy from the Cure.
It's very like
All Out Boy,
Green Day
as the Batman.
It's Batman. It's actually showing it for the first time because every other guy has it.
I do like that. I like that they showed the makeup. I'm
I like that they showed it, but they didn't like make a big deal. It was just there.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
No,
He's got to
do clean up when he was not. When he got home, he did not clean up. Like if you think back to Affleck in the Batcave, like he was always wearing like a 3-piece suit, like a vest and a like he had just had a shower, and like somebody had just brought him a crumpet, and we didn't get that out of Pattinson. He kind of just slouched around wherever he was.
Yeah.
See, Matt must be a My Chemical Romance fan, so he was singing a little Black Parade to himself. Yeah, I mean that's one of the very first. Spoiler-free reviews that I read was kind of jokey, but it was like, if you like My Chemical Romance, you'll love the Batman. I mean, I thought that was a pretty funny.
5th, 6th grade Jacob would have been all over this movie.
Have we already gone around and said what people thought about the movie?
No, we were talking about
that's a long conversation.
We were talking about Chrysler Seabrings earlier,
and the price of gas.
And the price of
we were just about to hit Ukraine, but we haven't gotten there yet.
We're checking all the boxes.
Well, everybody else is. Why not us?
Yeah, exactly. Why not us?
Calvin Ridley, Aaron Rodgers is staying on the Packers. Russell Wilson is now the Denver Broncos quarterback.
Really?
Good grief.
Earl,
make my life hell for the next 5 years.
Earl, we need you to take a stand on some Florida legislation. Where do you stand?
Huh?
No.
I'm out of the loop.
We're just checking off boxes.
Oh my gosh!
Don't say it. Don't say it.
So
I live in Alabama. I don't know. I can't
Earl,
there.
Earl only gets his news from the Pony Express. He doesn't have a television.
Yep.
I wait for the newspaper to come in the morning and I unroll it. Okay, Boomer.
I don't even think there is
stop after every sentence.
I don't even think there is a daily newspaper anymore. There's not a daily newspaper anymore, is there? I mean, you can get the Times, I guess, but I mean, there's definitely not in Alabama a daily newspaper anymore.
A daily newspaper, the Brunswick News.
Yeah,
I'm Garrison Ryfan.
I'm Garrison Ryfan.
So Garrison, you mentioned DC Comics, so I want to ask: has this type of portrayal of the Riddler been in comic form ever. I mean, with duct tape and the weird mat. I mean, it felt so different to me.
It's not.
I'm not a comic guy.
Let me say that first off, I'm much more of a Flash guy than a Batman guy.
Okay.
I will say I've never read a comic with a Riddler like this. I'm not going to say there isn't one. He reminds me more of the Hush version of Riddler they did in the animated movie a few years back.
Okay.
Kind of, where he was the Hush, the serial killer, going around, and Batman had to solve the crime, even though Hush in the comic was like a random doctor guy. Anyway.
Well, it's not a very common iteration.
I think Reeves even said that he would love to have Hush.
I don't like that because it's just the same movie.
It's just the same. Yeah, it'd be the same, like serial killer. Yeah,
we don't need 2 murder mysteries in a row with a mysterious killer. Even though we kind of knew which one was.
Is this spoiler free? What are we doing here?
No, we're doing full spoilers, which is probably why only people that have seen the film are here. Matt,
I will say, I as someone who I am a Batman fan. My favorite Batman comic is the most cliche thing to say, but it is The Long Halloween, and this is the most Long Halloween feeling film out of any Batman film so far to me. It even starts on October 31st, and I was like, "Oh my God, are we going to do holidays?" And
then, no, they didn't do. They had like the parade or whatever with people.
It was a week-long movie, basically.
Yeah, that was basically it. Earl, since you jumped in late, I mean, what your just initial thoughts of it, like overall?
I loved it. I love the film noir aspect. I love the detectives searching for clues, the kind of Chinatown vibe, the Blade Runner vibe. I loved all that. I think the ending. I even liked. I know some people have said they don't like the ending as much. I did think some of it was a little clunky, but I like the idea that he switched from vengeance to hope. You know, I need to sort of change who I am for the city, ultimately. So I like that sort of like arc that he's actually going to progress and to be the hero of the city, as opposed to just vengeance. I know I can see Garrison's face doesn't believe in that concept.
I don't think Batman entirely rebukes vengeance.
No, I think he does. Well, I don't think he entirely rebukes it, but that's not going to be his main focus.
I'm very interested. I'd be very interested to hear what Paul Dini thinks of this movie, as the guy who invented the "I am vengeance, I am the Dark Knight, I am Batman" line in his animated series. Actually,
I can't help you with that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just very.
But that's my hot take. That's my hot take.
No, I mean I can see that because they specifically did that last overhead shot. I mean, to symbolize the fact that he has turned into a character of hope with all of those people following him out of the flooded area. I mean, so it was kind of that way.
But I thought that transition, like it didn't register with me as overtly as Earl just described it. I think it was a subtle transition I will incorporate more hopeful things, but like Ryfun, it was not a repudiation of I'm still going to beat the crap out of everybody. I'm still going to scare people.
He can't. He's not Superman.
But when the time comes, he's not Superman, right? When the time comes, I can also provide this other service, and I think that will translate into a more Bruce Wayne attitude.
Bruce Wayne was
that will get him more involved in the city, and that's where that will manifest while Batman continues to beat the tar out of everyone.
I'll go with that. Yeah.
And look, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. He is the fake identity. I'm very excited to see the sequel because I want to see that. We didn't really get Bruce in this movie, like Jacob said.
And Bruce Wayne was the work in progress more than Batman.
Right.
Well, and I love the fact, and it was an obvious choice, but I love the fact that like Reeves and Pattinson both came up with that. Like he's so against like being outside, he had a hard time like with sun, like even in those like he would like win.
What is he, a vampire?
Like he would win. Well, it's just to signify that he's
a little.
It's just to signify that this is what year 2. He really hasn't left the Batman persona at all. In other words, like people were so surprised to see him at that funeral. He was very much reclusive in year 2. I mean, it only been what I guess in this case 2 years since his parents' death, or 1 year maybe. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't
it was more than that.
Oh no, he was young.
No, he was a child.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't love about
Go ahead, say it, Rhett. Do you even Batman, bro?
The only thing I don't love about what was I even going to say? Oops. Oh, no. The only thing I don't love about Pattinson being kind of the moody guy is that, like, that was the expectation from a bunch of people who don't know that Pattinson can be a very suave and you know, like you see in Tenet actor. So now I feel like some people are going to get the wrong impression about who he can be as Bruce Wayne.
He was more Bruce Wayne in Tenet than in the Batman.
Right. Exactly.
He even is putting on a facade in Tenet.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And like that's part of my problem with the recent DC movies, at least Superman and Batman. Man of Steel, we got very little of Clark Kent, and the Clark Kent we got wasn't great. In this one, I mean, we got like one scene of Bruce Wayne.
Basically.
Essentially,
and when he was there at the funeral, he was still investigating stuff, and like you could obviously tell that he was like checking stuff out. You're like, well,
I love him looking behind him and hearing the conversations and
the
detective work.
It affected my suspension of disbelief a little bit to have him work so closely with the police as Batman.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, your disguise starts to fail when people are right up on you, right?
Well.
And I understand also Bruce Wayne was a little reclusive, so maybe they didn't have. Maybe that's the person that's missing from the equation, but it felt a little odd too.
But when his identity is the same, basically,
there's no difference in their behavior. The dude is just grimacing through the funeral, and he keeps his jaw clenched. Just the same as both personas.
You think that little boy knows he's Batman?
Right. Yeah. Like that kid knows.
The future Robin, maybe.
Yeah. And then, and a little bit, and I won't go too far on this one, but a little bit of a side note on that, you know, when he loses consciousness in that scene, with the bomb,
his mask off.
Dude, they don't pull his mask off. Like he's out for some number of, some minute. I mean, enough to be transported into the room, into a different area altogether. And
you have to imagine that Gordon was there during that and was probably preventing them from doing that somewhat.
Maybe. I wonder how much he didn't seem to have a whole lot of control in that room once he kind of came to. It was an odd thing to have so many people around Batman when he does not have agency over himself.
Right.
It's a little bit of a weird dynamic, I thought. And I couldn't really get my head around it.
All the conversations how grounded this film is. When you take a bomb to the chin like that, though, and there's no scars.
Coach DeBello has a good point. Now, sometimes with mask on, you don't know who they are.
Right.
Well,
no, I actually I like the scenes where Bruce. I like that shot of him walking in and all the police are kind of backing away from him at the very beginning, and then I liked how he looked around the room. Now I didn't know he had a camera in his eye.
I didn't either.
Just the way he was studying the crime scene, and you could see, and everybody's like, "What's up with this guy? He's not saying anything much. He's just looking around." It'd be pretty intimidating.
Then we found out it's the eyeball thing, right?
Yeah. But I
love the
Sherlock Holmes aspect of it.
Yep.
Yeah. In that scene, he gets stopped by that cop who calls him a freak.
Yeah.
I love that later on at the funeral, he sees Bruce and he's like, "Hey."
Right. Yeah.
So maybe they are too dumb to really put it together, right? I mean, I think that. No, and look, that funeral scene, or with the whole bomb, world's greatest detective, one of the world's smartest people. Dude, the countdown for this bomb is in front of you. It's like, and you just had your face right there. Like he didn't make any effort to avoid an imminent bomb blast, right? And I thought that was just one of those things that we need this to happen to move our plot, but the behavior doesn't really match the character, I thought. But
so, I mean, back to the Bruce Wayne aspect of it, I kind of liked something different. So this was so different than the other iterations that we have seen on film of Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne's this suave guy in pretty much everything. I mean, obviously Affleck, he's not only suave, but very like tortured and whatnot. And we got to see some of that. But I liked maybe it making this more about the Batman, hence the title of the film, than any focus whatsoever on Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because what that'll do is it will make it maybe mean more when we see that in the next film. I don't know.
I mean, even Nolan's...
that's a good point. It certainly will mean more, because I thought that was the weakest. That's where they have the most to work with, because I thought that was the weakest part of the movie, were the Bruce Wayne moments.
We also got like very little Alfred in this thing because we didn't get very much Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. I know we needed a little more Alfred.
And listen, overall, I liked the movie. I'm saying a lot of negative things. Just that's how discussion
I got
works.
More negative to say, but
I think Alfred was a little. I think Serkis was a little miscast in that. I
don't know.
Just a little. It's not. He didn't ruin it, but he's a little young for the role. And again, he didn't really have a whole lot to do.
I liked his version because it was the almost, and I don't know exactly how to say this, but it felt like the British boxer. He felt sort of like gruff.
He felt like the only Alfred that's killed a person.
Exactly.
Right, that's true, but that's a different take on Alfred, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Alfred Butler, a very proper butler.
So the Alfred in the show that was on Fox, it was sort of like that, like sort of a bruiser, like a guy
that a British Army guy.
Yeah, British Army that you could believe could teach Bruce how to fight, which they even say that in this film. But that's kind of like what the guy that would roll up the sleeves of his suit or whatever and just like get into it. I mean, he felt
I get by
like that.
You can tell
he's not
favorite
the super
Alfred.
old.
Who's your favorite Alfred? Go.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
No, he's good. I like Jeremy Irons.
I did like Jeremy Irons.
I liked Jeremy Irons was awesome as Alfred. Yeah.
I don't think it was that Andy Serkis was miscast. I think they just didn't give him the typical Alfred scenes to do, so we didn't. And so it's just a different Alfred, like we said.
Yeah. Let me pour you some tea, Master. It wasn't like that, Alfred.
What was he? A chimney sweep? What was that?
That was the Michael Caine.
Hello there, Governor.
I go on vacation once a year, and I just wish to see you.
Yeah,
Jacob, that's an amazing British accent. That was good.
Pretty good at it.
That was good. I mean, I was
the accents.
I don't know about you guys.
I like it.
The accents.
I'm just kidding, Jacob. No, I was really good.
I blame headphones. I can't hear myself doing the accent.
I need to hear like more of why Ryfin hates this movie.
Whoa!
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
The score is not that good. How about that?
You had a
8 out of 10. I give it the same score as Jacob.
I know.
The score
is not
as good as everybody keeps saying it is.
How dare you?
No.
The Batman walking theme is just like the first two notes of the Imperial March. It's just it drove me crazy the entire movie.
It's simple and it builds dread. I mean, it's
ding 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 ding.
Now we're all doing it.
And then you change the pitch on it and modulate it.
This is what the people
just the same thing over and over.
Honestly,
and over
I thought it was
that's like Jaws. Jaws is that one dun 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 dun. It's like two notes that build dread.
I thought it really worked in that smashing of the windows at the top of the thing when he's crashing down to the whatever the arena is.
The garden.
The Madison Square Garden analog.
Just use the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. When he crashes through that, I thought the music worked really well.
Yeah, I mean,
they play that theme like almost throughout the entire film.
They
played a little too much.
There was a little Catwoman variation that I liked though. That was kind of a cool little, almost 60s sounding little. Go ahead.
Can I say something controversial?
Of course. Yeah.
There we go.
Catwoman, if I think you could have written her out of this film and it wouldn't matter at all to the script. I don't think she matters to the story that much.
Well, no. I think she matters to the thread with Falcone. I mean,
the thread they made up it doesn't matter.
I mean, it does matter. I mean,
but Falcone, the Falcone relationship was ultimately ended up being with Bruce Wayne, and it had very little to do with Selena Kyle.
It's about his parents.
She drove a couple of the plot points and kind of but she didn't have to. Yeah,
they
could have gotten there some other way, and it would not have. He's probably right, Michael.
You could have written around.
You could have written around it. Yeah, he's probably right. But needed.
But you could also say you don't need the penguin. Well, no, you do need the penguin though, because there's
the penguin's pretty important.
That's true.
Setting up that stuff and setting up the sequel clearly, and the show and blah blah blah.
Well, you need something.
Well, and Catwoman's going to have her own show too. So
yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have had any female characters if you didn't even wrote her out.
Well, but here's the thing. Female audiences gave the movie a B+, which is a terrible cinema score.
Yeah,
it
was.
You're right.
35% of the opening weekend audience.
Oh, it was sausage fest when we went to see it.
You're right about that. I sat next to a girl.
She was the only one in the theater,
and she loved it. She was like, "I'm here for Robert Pattinson." She loved it.
She was all in.
That's an interesting point. I think philosophically she probably had some effect on Bruce.
Yeah, I think so.
That changed maybe his approach in a couple of things.
I think the Riddler does that himself as well.
He does too.
Yeah, I mean his whole vengeance thing at the end. I mean that becomes from a Riddler.
Give Bruce a love interest, man. Come on.
That wasn't even explored all that far.
I don't honestly, think that. Yeah.
It felt like the Telltale games where like they're together for a little bit, and then she literally rides off at the end of the first Telltale game, just like she does in the movie. Basically.
Oh no! What happened?
What?
Oh, I think Rhett must have
froze.
I didn't drop. Everybody
we had a couple of freezes.
You dropped.
Sorry.
Everybody
froze.
It's because we started talking about Telltale games, and then it went downhill from there.
Point and click adventure games. Yeah.
Yeah. Point.
Oh yeah, it's my fault. I'm using a VPN. I've signed in through Russia.
You're not going to make it then. It's not gonna...
I can't hear you there.
Yeah, we're losing you.
Look, see, he froze. Everybody froze again.
Nobody's frozen.
I'm not freezing. Nobody's freezing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm on Wyoming Wi-Fi, and nobody's freezing for me.
Except your face is freezing.
WYFI? Is that how they do Wyoming Wi-Fi?
Yep. It's Wi-Fi. Yep.
Where are we? Whoa.
Oh.
Where are we?
We just lost Rat.
So we were at the point in the movie where the bomb goes off in his face. What happens?
Well, I mean, we weren't trying to go in order, but whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Did we get that far? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't gotten. We haven't.
One thing I really loved was kind of the detective scenes with Gordon and Batman. I almost wanted that to be the entire movie because I thought they were the best two characters in the film.
Yeah, totally.
I wanted Gordon to become Robin.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Bit old.
Yeah.
Can't be the boy wonder.
Well, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! How did this happen?
How did you Disney this week?
The kid's asleep.
How did you Disney this week? Not with a DC movie.
Is that a Batman clue? Is that the
the tag?
Did you get that from evidence?
I didn't realize the tag was still on here.
That's some evidence. You're gonna tear up the hat, Dave.
He's dressed as the villain in the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, before we go on, then let's just do, since Dave's added, like in general, just real quick overview. Like, what did you think of the film?
Who?
David?
Who, me?
Yeah, since you jumped in late. Yeah,
it far exceeded my expectations. I think he was probably the worst Bruce Wayne of any film I've seen. He's probably maybe the best Batman that I've seen.
Oh, interesting.
He was top 2 or 3. He was great Batman. Not a good Bruce Wayne. Terrible Bruce Wayne. But a very good Batman.
Intentionally.
I agree with David.
I was about to say that is the fault of the script. That he's a bad Bruce Wayne.
Right. Well, that's why I said it was an intentional.
He's a good actor.
It also helped me. This plus Tenet has helped me pull Robert Arpats out of the Edward thing, which I've had to deal with. It's been hard.
Very
much.
That's
why I don't like Keystone, because I hate Twilight so much. It took Inception for me to see Leo as something else besides Jack Dawson. So Tenet plus this has really helped me pull Arpats and make him be a real actor in my mind. So now I can watch him and stuff.
No, I agree. I mean, and Kristen Stewart's a delight, by the way. We're not here to. I mean,
she's awful. She sucks.
Oh, she's not winning the award.
And
she's not winning the movie. No.
Speaking of Sausage Fest, here's 6 dudes talking about the Batman. Cinema score A+.
4 of them are from the same city.
The thing about David saying that he's a great Batman, it's hard not to be a great Batman. I think you put somebody in the armored suit with
Val
the mask.
Kilmer was pretty bad.
I was gonna say,
Val Kilmer was
Mike,
pretty.
no.
I don't count those.
No.
Look, I don't know that
Kilmer
those
was a
should
good
count.
Batman.
I do
and
too.
a good Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think those should even count. I mean, you certainly don't
Really?
count the George Clooney. That's cartoon stuff. That's not a faithful adaptation.
Just to, like, throw him out.
Yeah, I think you throw that out. You don't compare it to, oh well, he's the worst one. That doesn't exist in this dojo. I mean, that should be you should throw that on the scrap heap of history.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
But I really, if you put anybody in
my bad.
You put anybody in that suit and have them grumble and punch people, they're going to come across as a pretty good Batman, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, I don't know. Clooney was. I don't know, man. I know throw those out, but I can't throw them out because they happened.
Oh, it's terrible.
And they weren't cartoons.
But that wasn't. I mean, it was cartoony, right?
Yes.
I mean,
no, for sure.
I don't know that should, or that's always going to be your bottom of the barrel, right? You always say, oh well, he's better than. Well, yeah,
Batman
no
or
kidding.
Robin.
No kidding, he was.
Well, but
so I don't know. I tend to not count that really as a fair portrayal. I think Michael Keaton did what he could. That was different.
Okay, well then, who do you think is the best Bruce Wayne then?
I have my answer, but
go ahead. Say your answer.
Probably Adam West.
Nice. I like that. Actually,
probably Adam West.
Yeah. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, mine would definitely be Nolan's Bruce.
Yeah. In a modern portrayal, then yeah.
I would say him or Keaton, one or the other. I thought Keaton was a good Bruce Wayne.
I thought Keaton was good.
Yeah, Keaton was good. I think Bale would be my favorite though.
Yeah. But Adam West is actually that's not a bad answer. Like,
well, because that's our first. Like, he's the first one, right? I mean, that kind of that's what
comics were really silly way back in the day too. I mean,
they were, and that's another one that you almost. I mean, you can apply my same rule and throw it out for being just total camp, cartoony nonsense. No, that's all we had, at least, right? But yeah, no, I thought you want the wealth, you want the mentor attitude, and Bale had that to some degree, I guess.
He didn't have the mentor.
Bale was
he didn't mentor anybody. You're right, but but he did show some business savvy. I feel like you need to have some association with Gotham, with the city itself, which we didn't see any of that here.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that one character, the mayor, the character that was trying to be the mayor. I mean, she did mention
Rial or whatever.
I don't know. Who cares? But I mean, you did mention that your father was very philanthropic, to the city.
And you're doing nothing.
You're doing nothing.
You're just a grunger.
But Christian Bale was helped and given credibility, I think, by Lucius Fox. Okay, I think that character, which we've not seen really portrayed anywhere else,
somebody to bounce off of.
Was somebody who gave him legitimacy. As
Lucius
Bruce
ran
Wayne.
the business.
Lucius ran the business. Well, and
I
think we were to think that in a way Alfred did quite a bit of that in this portrayal. I mean, it seemed like he was the bookkeeper at least.
But
he was almost a regent.
Right.
Like he took
the
over
ombudsman.
But here's my take on. So I think Christian Bale, if you remember, before he went off to do his Kathmandu journey to Ra's al Ghul or wherever that was, he was a lot like Pattinson. Remember, he had the hair. He tried to take on Carmine Falcone by himself, and I think he was like this emo. So I think Pattinson is like that same character. He's just not decided that I've got to do this. I've got to do something different with my outward persona, like a 20-year-old would do or something.
Yeah, Matt has a good point here. I mean, he was the most cocky.
He was.
Yeah.
By the time he came back,
it was very purposeful. Like his Bruce Wayne being this playboy, cocky, kind of D-bag, for lack of a better term, was very purposeful. It was to throw off the scent. Like
correct.
Yeah,
to see them, like you'd be like that. This guy could never be Batman.
Yeah,
right.
It's not selfless enough. He's not. Yeah,
I will say it's tough to judge Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, you can't
without knowing what's coming in the future, because we do get that. That's a good point about Bale going up against Falcone before Ra's al Ghul.
We need Pattinson's Bruce Wayne to break his back at some point and then have to go to.
We don't need Nightfall.
We're just not as far. His story isn't as developed as the other Bruce Waynes we've seen, so we don't know where that can go. That's a great point.
Yeah.
What I also liked about this movie too was this was very bare bones Batman. There wasn't a whole lot of technology to it other than that contact thing. It was very like the movie was mostly Batman. It was a very little Bruce Wayne anyway. As we know, it's we see in the movie, it's Batman year 2. So I can assume in the storyline of this particular Batman, he's not been Batman that long. Year 2, maybe the second year or whatever, according to his diaries and stuff. So who knows as this Batman progresses in this universe, how much more tech he's going to get, how much more savvy he's going to get. Maybe he becomes like that Christian Bale Batman later on, more savvy to the world, more Bruce Wayne versus, Bruce Wayne like he seemed in the movie this time. I don't know. But I like the fact that it was so much more. So I heard it described as almost like Seven with a guy in a batsuit. Basically, very dark, very noir feeling. And I really like that.
I liked that too. And that's a different take than we've seen. Batman. I like the investigating that went into it. We actually got to see some of that. We'd never see that in any other
Detective Comics
live action portrayals.
That's long Halloween all day.
And to David's point, it was visceral. I like the visceral aspects of it, where he did not rely on the technology. The eyeball things, but that's for plot. So we could get things moving there. Give him a way to communicate. Kind of
give a reason for Catwoman to infiltrate a place instead of him.
Well, there you go. There's your use of Catwoman.
Ryford hates Catwoman. Ryford is so
girls in movies. We don't want girls in movies.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm saying.
International Women's Day sucks, and I hate it. Yeah.
Tell us how much you hate the Alien franchise and Sigourney Weaver.
So basically what you guys are saying is in the next movie, instead of like Nirvana, Bruce Wayne's going to spin some U2 It's a Beautiful Day or something like that.
I think they go I think they go full Chumbawamba.
I think they go Mad World.
Mad World.
Tune Yards.
That's not a Batman you ever want to see.
Talking about 7 parallels, the killer also gives himself up at not at the end of the film, but I thought that was an interesting. Again, it was to set up this third act with the explosion that we see in the trailers, which I hated. I hated that was in the trailers itself.
I didn't like
the trailers give away too much nowadays.
I think they gave away too much. Yeah, I love the car chase, by the way. I thought that was great.
Yeah, really good car chase.
That car revved up.
Introduction of the car
in the
there.
theater.
Yeah.
Great Batmobile.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
Loved it.
Do they have good speakers in Wyoming? Were you able to feel the car?
We have Dolby Atmos. We have a full Dolby Atmos theater.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, we're
Our
coming.
theater also it's not called an Atmos theater, but it has Atmos sound.
Okay. Yep. The only theater that will do that in Birmingham is the IMAX. So, I guess the Prime at Vestavia Hills. There's your local reference for you, but that'll probably you can feel the shaking in that that particular theater. But I mean, so we haven't talked enough about Riddler and Paul Dano. I think. I mean, we're 42 minutes in, and we haven't really talked too much about the villains. We've complained a lot about Catwoman, but that's about it.
Oh, good lord!
No, she was great. All I said
was you could have written the movie around her and it wouldn't have changed much. That's all I said.
But she was good. I thought she was really she was good at it.
Great.
Yeah, she was good.
I like and look, one thing that you get a lot out of female characters, especially in superhero movies, is they beat the hell out of every 240-pound man they see. And in their fight, he settled her down very quickly. Right? I mean, he outweighs her by 100 pounds, and handled it pretty well. And I appreciate that slight realism that they did not force her into being a character that didn't make sense for her to be.
Well, that's because she was only on month 1 or 2, and he was on year 2. So
he's way ahead of her in development. Yeah. If she had gotten a head start on him, she'd have beat him to nothing.
I wonder how heavy that suit is. Like all the gadgets, he did have stuff. I mean, all on.
He did have a lot of stuff.
He had arrows or something.
Yeah, he had kind of. He had the whistlers, like they used.
Like Mando.
The whistling birds.
When he walked in, I love that first scene when he's walking in. You just hear his boots, and it's like, oh man, it's like this is cool.
So I mean, the villains to me had to be very different than everything we'd seen before, and I think that Reeves did a really good job about just completely going insane with the villains, as far as they're so different than any portrayal of Riddler we've seen, and really from the standpoint of Penguin, that's a very different version of the Penguin than we've ever seen as
he's
well.
He's still cartoony and funny. I actually liked
he
that.
was.
Penguin was fun. I liked Colin Farrell in it. It didn't have to be Colin Farrell. Like, I don't know why you let Colin Farrell be that. It could have been anyone in that suit and with the makeup, you know.
But he's so great.
But he was great.
Reeves did say,
sweetheart.
Yeah, Reeves did say that they did not intend to go that far with the makeup. It just happened, and they went with it.
Yeah, well, it was great.
They wanted to show the fact that it was Colin Farrell more than they ended up.
Well, they didn't. There was no way you could know it if you didn't already know it.
I mean, I knew that he was in the movie, and when I saw that first preview, I was like, "Where's Colin Farrell? I thought he was in this movie." I mean, it was insane. Good. And his voice was great. The Penguin bit was pretty funny.
Yeah,
a lot of people are not talking about the humor of the movie. There's some pretty funny moments in the
when he's like swinging by and hits the bridge. I laughed out loud. I was like, "Oh my god, that was some good comedy right there."
And a lot of the comedy came from the interaction with between Jeffrey Wright and Patterson, also, which I thought was great. He was really good. He was really good too.
Yeah.
But the Riddler, for me, I would have preferred this very same movie, but with Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Oh, really?
No.
And I was like, okay.
I was ready to hear you out for a second.
I was too. I was like,
sure,
all right,
hear me out.
No, that's ridiculous.
I will look at Frank Gorshin in this movie.
Frank Gorshin.
Yeah. The interrogation scene where he's complaining to them that they don't understand Spanish. That got me really hard.
What was the word?
It's la.
You guys don't know that?
Yes.
Rada, alada.
Yeah. They went through every winged animal you could come up with to try to think never got it right.
Yeah.
I'm a bat.
URL as what.
URL.
Yeah.
He was good with the clues. I'll say that.
Do we think, and I know I'm jumping to like the very end and possibly a question that we can't answer, but do we think, since we're talking about Riddler, do we think that he knew that Bruce Wayne was Batman?
Nope. No. And they revealed that with in that interrogation scene or whatever.
Yeah.
And
you could Pattinson thought he knew, but he didn't know.
You could see Pattinson go from realizing that he doesn't actually know, which is
relief.
Yes. He did a lot with his eyes, by the way. Just to be able to emote through the mask was pretty impressive, I think, in a lot of that. But when Dano gets unhinged because he thinks, we're working together, and then he realizes he's not gonna follow him in his plan.
He reminded me, was it Prisoners that he was a very similar character? He's very good at I think Matt said it in the chat. He's really good. Yeah, here he is. He's really good at playing unhinged characters.
He plays this baby-faced creepy guy is what he does.
Yes.
I drink your milkshake.
That's right. I drink your milkshake.
All his characters seem like somebody who would need to tell you when they moved into your neighborhood, like have a legal requirement.
Yeah. And he's clearly playing an incel in this. That's why they've got him playing like a streamer.
Exactly. That part kind of.
Hey guys.
Smash that like button.
I laughed when he was just so normal on this.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a neat take. I thought I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
There was not a ton of woke politics in this. Some people say there was, and I did not get a whole lot. There's one or two throwaway lines about there's one something like that. But probably that whole right wing wacko internet crowd was a little bit of a message there. I think that's obviously inspired from some of that, and but they didn't lean into it that hard. It was not overt. So I saw really nothing.
It wound up being more of a vengeance lesson for Batman again. The goons.
Yeah,
he does.
That was a little low. It's a little low.
Social media is hard, and that was social media on the dark web.
Dark web, yeah.
And every single one of them was like, "I'm loading up a gun and I'm going."
Yeah. I mean, he got the. He got his message across. Yeah,
he definitely spoke to those that wanted to hear what he was saying. They were ready. They just needed an excuse, basically.
No one in the movie is smart enough to shoot Pattinson in the face.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, nobody. That's a great scene with the lighting with no light. Scene? Yeah. Only the muzzle flash. It's a great visual scene. Very stupid.
Yes.
Very stupid.
I agree.
Well, but I like technically the way it's done. I mean, there was no light. It was all lit by the muzzle flash. Really cool. It looked great, but very dumb.
Maybe he needs one of those COVID
not how recoil and impact if physics work. But whatever. It's not vibranium. It's
movies.
I'm also pretty sure they were shooting some of themselves.
Yeah.
It's
possibly
permanently firing.
Yeah. In the pitch dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to necessarily sit through all 3 hours of it again, but there's certain scenes I want to see again on the big screen, and that's one of them. I mean,
that will be available to watch over and over on YouTube probably now.
Probably now in 4K, probably.
I don't have to go through the 3 hours again.
Yeah, but
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, that was a long movie, and that was was one fault of it. Is it was way too long. I mean, 2 hours,
probably 30 minutes.
Not back.
Probably 30 minutes too long, but I did not find any real problems with the pacing. I was never bored by it.
I'll agree.
There was one moment where I checked my phone for the time, and that was it. And I was like, "Oh, holy crap, we have a whole hour left."
That's right. But
I was reading the wiki the whole time.
I never got bored with it. I never felt. I mean, I don't know. This doesn't make sense. This sounds like a contradiction, but I thought it was paced fine, and it was too long.
It was better paced than No Time to Die.
How dare you? How dare you?
Rude.
I knew that would get Mikey right.
I agree. Daniel Craig is the best James Bond.
If there's one thing I really loved, I'm a Thomas Wayne stan. I love.
You don't hear that often.
Seriously, as a
comic book, Thomas Wayne.
As a comic book guy, I think Thomas Wayne is a stand-up individual who does good things.
Dude.
And when they started to make him a bad guy, like they did in the Telltale games, I was starting to get really mad. And I would have given the movie a lot lower score if they had not taken back what they did.
The Thomas Wayne in The Joker was a scumbag.
Yeah, and I hated that.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
That's the new thing. If you're wealthy, you're going to be a scumbag, right? Is that
but that was the point of Joker. Yeah.
Right.
Now in the Joker, that guy had his hands on Alfred, on his kid, right?
Yeah.
And he reacted. He's being approached and accosted in a bathroom. I don't know. I mean, you can kind of see how Thomas Wayne could be a good person and still get where he got.
Maybe, sure.
Yeah, he's still
but you're right. Yeah, no, it was not it was not the ideal portrayal of
But that particular, I can't remember.
Ryan stands him.
I don't necessarily know the actor's name, but it's a guy that is always a scumbag, like the guy that they had portraying Thomas Wayne. It's a guy a character actor.
Yeah, he was just in that Lakers show we were watching too.
Oh, that was good.
And he was a scumbag.
Hey, there's a Wyoming connection. Gary Buss went to University of Wyoming.
Oh,
all right.
Was that the guy?
Are we transitioning to that?
The owner. I think so.
Are we doing that one? That show's great.
That show was okay. 6 out of 10. That's
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't enough for me.
Wait, what are we doing?
I wanted it to go farther.
It's no Euphoria for Michael.
Yeah, exactly. I need something more visceral.
I wasn't afraid of the show when I saw it pop up.
Okay.
I mean, can we talk about the Dropout with Amanda Seyfried? Because that show's fantastic too.
I haven't watched it
It's
yet.
on the list to watch.
I'm obsessed with that whole story, just by the way. But
I haven't watched it yet.
So
Where
good.
is that? Where's that?
I'm waiting for the Jennifer Lawrence version, personally. All right. What were you gonna say, Ryfin? Do you even remember? Something about Thomas Wayne.
The thing I liked about Thomas Wayne is that he made a mistake in going to Falcone, but he didn't get Falcone to go kill a person.
Right.
And he was trying to protect his wife. Now, let's go to something I don't like. Why does Martha Wayne have to be freaking crazy? Well, because then it implicates Bruce as also being crazy and having obviously inherited some sort of thing from her. And I hate that. I hate that whole Bruce Wayne has a mental illness
Martha
kind of
Arkham.
thing.
And we've played that for a while now. I mean, we kind of did that. We've kind of playing that Bruce Wayne thing that he's got a little bit of a mental illness for a while now. I feel like.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, but some go more hardcore than others.
Yeah,
right. I
was worried they were going to play that too hard, and they didn't. Thankfully, I didn't feel it as strongly.
I agree. I'm just afraid that they will.
That's yeah, exactly. They could go back to that because the Arkham series that they're going to do could touch on some of that too. But I don't know.
But you know what? They didn't go hard on it. That was just a very brief couple of minutes, and that I think that contributes to my feeling that it was paced really well.
Yeah.
Nothing. I got tired of none of the subplots. They didn't overdo any of them.
I agree.
And there was So I don't know where the extra time came from. I don't know why. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. But
look, Matt. I mean,
he's a perfectly normal individual.
It's a perfectly,
No, I just some of them literally. I mean, like comics nowadays have him envisioning like a Joker head in a jar and crap like that, and I just I don't.
They're retro.
They're all edge lords.
Go there.
That's why I haven't read a comic book since the 90s.
They're changing things in the comics to make like some of the past. Yeah,
they get more edgy.
Rhett's thing with cartoons is my thing with comics.
He doesn't do comics.
I just don't do comics. Yeah. Because they're just always they're so out there. I mean, there's no realism at all.
What about Jeffrey Wright as Gordon?
Jeffrey Wright.
Love Jeffrey Wright.
Great.
Yep.
Me too.
I was kind of bummed.
Second best Gordon.
Kind of bummed to hear that they're not going to move forward right now with that Gotham PD show.
He would have been a minor character in that. Reeves said that on the
podcast.
Really?
Oh man, I thought when I first heard about that, I thought it was going to be his show.
It was going to be about a corrupt cop who.
You mean all of Gotham PD? Then
We've already had a Gotham show. I don't really want another. I'm not even super jazzed about a Penguin show. Like I would rather him just be the next villain in the movies or something. I'm worried if you do that, it's going to water down and just like all these.
Look, in my opinion, give me more Colin Farrell as a Penguin. I don't care where it is. I mean, I just want more of that.
I mean, it may be great. I just anyway.
Yeah, I think they missed an opportunity with Batman showing Commissioner Gordon a clue and him saying that doesn't look like anything to me. Little Westworld shout out there.
A little Westworld shout out. Yep.
Or having a Watu come in and go, wait a minute. Oh wait, that's different. That's a different universe. I'm sorry. Watu.
Wait, did you say Watu or Wado? What are you trying to say?
It's the guy from What If?
Wado?
That Jeffrey Wright plays.
Wado. Are you trying to say
Wado is like a
Watu?
Are you trying to say Quadranero?
The Watcher. I'm sorry.
Watu.
He's trying to do
Quadranero.
Y'all don't know his name. I'm sorry.
We don't take Republic credits here.
He's got a Ben Quadraneros right here.
The Batman is a hero in my
That's worth a lot.
Is that Quaternero I just saw?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now this is pod racing.
This is pod racing. Exactly.
It's podding. It's podding.
Podcasting.
So, how do you guys feel about the concept that clearly they're trying to represent in the end with the goons and the I Am Vengeance line of the Batman creates his villains?
Batman. Oh, okay.
Inspires his villains.
I feel like it's not a new thing. Obviously,
it's an age-old tale. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like how it's always
every
been.
Superhero out there is like. Oh, it's at least a lot of the villains
straight up rebukes it in his show, but sure.
But like it's like a lot of like the villains viewpoints of like if you weren't here, we wouldn't have all these problems.
But it's just an excuse that they use to justify their crime.
Right.
I don't like that Batman internalizes it and is like, yes, I'm causing this.
No, I don't like that either.
I didn't get a lot of that. I didn't get a lot of that from the movie.
That was my impression when he watched that guy.
I need to watch it again. There's so many things.
When he say that again, Ruffin. When he watched what guy?
When he watched the goon say, "I am vengeance."
When they asked him who he was.
Ask him who
after
he was.
He almost.
I
realized he had.
Yeah, that's why
they flipped it. They flipped it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Look, I love the movie, but I just have a few Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't a perfect 10. I've seen some perfect 10s out there applied to it, and it wasn't. But it was good, and it was better than I thought it would be.
It was engaging.
When I heard about it. When it was first announced, when you read all the crap that went on set with Pattinson being hard to work with not working out, all these other things.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, no, I think but there's some truth to some of that. So I went in with very low expectations, and they exceeded them. The movie exceeded my expectations.
Can I just say, between CSI and Law & Order SVU, I've seen close to 800 procedural dramas dealing with forensics. Batman walking in there, picking up all those evidence, just picking up things, looking around. That is a lawsuit nightmare.
We're throwing this whole case just got thrown out. Thanks, Batman.
Everything about that is wrong. I don't care whether you're Batman or whether you're the commissioner. You can't just walk in and pick up evidence and be like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
they do a quick cut scene to Harvey Dent, and he's changing right there just because of all that.
Right,
he's like two-faced. He's like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. The commissioner should have been more upset at the beginning of the film that he was even in the crime scene.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah,
much less touching anything.
Because if I'm on trial and I found out Batman touched the evidence, my lawyer, if he's any good, is like, we're throwing.
Well, no, he does have gloves on.
But it doesn't matter. It all gets thrown out. Guess what? You don't get to. There's a letter addressed to me here at this crime scene. I get to run to the joint now. No, that's not it at all. You never.
How about you read that letter downtown at the
Hey, they're corrupt. It's Gotham.
That's right.
It wasn't even. It didn't even have postage on it.
But Jim,
it's not like you can't open somebody else's mail.
Yeah.
Jim isn't
Matt
corrupt,
asked a question in the chat.
No, we're getting there. We're getting there, Matt.
All right.
Oh, okay.
We will get there. We're not quite there yet. I loved Carmine Falcone. I thought that Turturro was outstanding in that. I mean, I even loved the randomness of Peter Sarsgaard showing up. I mean,
I didn't love the tying of. No, you know what? I'm gonna shut up now.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I would like to hear it.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm just gonna get called a woman hater or something.
So you didn't like the fact that Selena Kyle
was arbitrary tying of her being his daughter randomly. I just thought that was weird and out of nowhere.
Well, I mean,
it didn't contribute much.
Chase scene. It sets up a chase scene later, but yeah, I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to. I don't know that they had to make that character at least contribute in a different way. Yeah, she needed an. Yeah, I mean,
that was her reason for being there.
Right,
100%. It was her friend and Falcone.
Yeah.
Well, that's more than her friend.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have
the bat and the cat.
Well, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about her girlfriend.
The cat and the cat.
The cat and the cat. Yeah. That woman that was killed was. Yeah. No. They were supposed to be. They were supposed to be girlfriend. Yes.
That's
100%.
That's
100%. Yet.
That's not true.
That's 100%.
100% true.
That's the character.
Probably the subtext you're supposed to take. But.
The current Catwoman is bisexual.
Well, the current Catwoman. This is a year. That whole scene, that whole apartment scene.
Wait a minute.
That's supposed to be her girlfriend.
Wait a minute, Mikey. Just because Catwoman is bisexual doesn't mean she dates every woman that's around her.
No, but that's why she was so upset.
That's how it works, right? Yeah.
That's why
that person's a homosexual. I just saw him walk by a dude.
No, that's why she was so upset about her getting taken and everything. I mean,
people have friends, Mikey.
I would not care if Rhett was taken.
He's not going to go on a vigilante spree. Yeah. He's like, no, I've got to infiltrate 44 below. I got to go to Jitterbugs downtown and try to find my friend. He's not going to do that.
Like you'd be like, "Hey, Dave, you're from Brett. No, should we look for him?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
Nah.
Another one
Supposed to burn his phone.
I mean, you guys let Pinky rot in a Chinese gulag.
I know, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Which,
We left him. Yeah,
Did they
he's
know
roommates with the Uyghurs now, and we don't care.
Not only we do it, we don't have Airwolf or anything. We can't go get him.
Airwolf. Where are we going to go? Yeah, where are we going to go help him escape? What are we going to do?
Commando. We're not going to Valverde.
Are they aware?
Rambo
that Pinky,
3.
Oh,
Are they aware that Pinky went to the movie with us?
oh yeah, Pinky did
He
make an
did.
appearance and go
Like
see the
a real
Batman
life,
with us.
like
Yeah,
real
it
life
was-
Pinky.
There's a
Wow.
movies program.
He was, he was emaciated. He
was.
out.
he was.
just kidding.
Yep.
He kept talking
to
about
keep
how
propping him up.
thankful he was
He's
to
really
the
subordinate now.
to the Central Committee.
Finally gets the job at the grocery store. There's no groceries there. It's ridiculous.
Anyways,
We're off
that
topic.
was supposed to be her girlfriend. That's for
Yes.
sure.
The spying
What?
scene with Bruce looking through the window, they were very affectionate towards each
That
other.
was also, probably a little against the law.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Batman does.
Batman
breaks
does
a
what
lot of
Batman
laws.
wants.
Yeah,
I mean,
Batman does what Batman
If he would like,
wants.
if he wants to watch Zoe Kravitz change, he's going to do that.
That's
yes.
right. He does.
Well,
what
see,
he
that was
wants
supposed to be a I've actually heard Matt Reeves say this, but I figured it when I was watching the movie. That's supposed to be a parallel between the beginning of the film, that Batman is just as creepy as the Riddler. He just doesn't cross the line of killing people.
Do we want to? I hope that they don't lean into that in the next film. Then, like, if that's what Matt's mind, that's what he wants to do with the characters, make him as creepy as the villains. I'm not.
Yeah, I think the next Bat
I don't
suit
think so.
they'll put nipples on it, so he can touch them while he watches. Yeah,
Castles.
Oh god.
A Batman multiverse movie, like all of them together. Yeah,
We could get them all together. They
Val
bust out.
is going to be standing
I'm
a
as
little
happy
weird.
as a
But
little bat.
Yikes.
Yeah, I really hope that they don't lean into any of that, because I think that there's room to make the character not like the villains that he's trying. I mean,
Well,
you
I
don't
think
have
we
to
got
do
that
that
at the end, right?
Mhm.
Well, yes, if that's what right. I mean, if that's what, the way they're going with it, he's more about hope now, or understands that there needs to be a balance there at
Yes.
least, vengeance and hope.
Should be in justice instead of vengeance. is
justice.
what he should
Probably
be saying.
justice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. He
So
should
what
be.
about
So, in other words, he should be more like Darkwing Duck.
Mhm.
Well, Ryfin, what are some other movies with women in them that you hate?
Don't ask him to come on the Little Women pod. My goodness. He hates everything about that movie except for Timothy Chalamet.
Wait a minute. What are some other movies now?
Can you
No,
watch
we
the
don't.
Spice Girls?
Kimmy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zoe
Hey,
Kravitz.
I liked Kimmy. I thought Kimmy was okay.
He likes the ending of Thelma and Louise because they both die.
Wow.
He called it the feel-good movie of the year.
That's too long gone from the earth. Nah, we're just kidding.
You know me, I'm a big Ray hater. You know.
He's got his own He-Man
Well,
Woman
no,
Club.
we're not going to
That's
get started in
understandable.
that.
We
No
won't
Star
get into
Wars
that.
talk
No,
tonight.
no.
No Star Wars talk.
What about
tonight.
in the prison cell? The big spoiler. Are we there yet, or do we? need to
Oh,
talk
I mean, I guess.
Spoiler, they got put in like 50 million reviews apparently.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Barry.
Well, I
Keoghan.
mean-
how do you say his name? Kagan.
Coegan, yeah, something like that.
Coegan. Yeah.
Kagan.
He's
And
Irish.
it looked like he had green hair, so I like that. It looked like there was a shot that you could tell there was a green tint to his hair.
I didn't like that we couldn't see his face because at first I was like, is that Two-Face?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
They were
And
saving him, and then he said
and
the
then-
thing about clown or something.
Yeah, well, and he laughed,
right.
and yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Right,
he
and
was
then the
clearly the
laugh.
Joker, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary and felt really tacked on, and it felt like
I
just
know.
another. We just had a Joker. Now here's another Joker. We've got another Joker. Too many Jokers.
I agree. Well, I agree that it felt tacked on to the film, and I will also say that Matt Reeves said they deleted a scene from earlier in the film where he visits Arkham and the Joker is there and they talk,
Oh,
and it sets up that scene later.
well, that
Yeah.
might be good to see.
But he felt
And
like the film
he did say
paced
that will be
better.
released.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
He
going to
said
be in
film
the.
pace better without it, but I feel like it's important for that to set
It's
that
going to
up.
be
That would have actually put it over 3 hours then, and maybe the Warner Brothers was like, "No,
That's
we
the
can't
extended
do that."
edition.
Yeah,
Well, they could have cut out the whole part with Catwoman and save some money.
Well, let's cut out Catwoman and Real and
oh god,
Oh my gosh! Part about his mother.
Martha Wayne.
Get rid of that.
Get rid of Martha Wayne.
Actually,
She's
I don't really understand what they were doing with Real in the film. I mean, I feel like
she was supposed to be.
She gets introduced on the. I get it. She's supposed to be reforming the city with Batman, kind of like that's the politician. He's the superhero. But they introduce her at the beginning of the film. I'm like, oh, she's going to be an important character, almost like Harvey Dent, maybe. And
she's Two-Face in the next movie.
She's just not really an important.
Wait, you're not being serious, Roth?
No.
Okay. A female. I mean, I don't mind. I'm okay with women in film, so I don't mind if they gender swap Two-Face.
Women's International Women's
It is
Day,
International Women's Day today.
Yeah.
It's appropriate for Ryford to be saying he hates Catwoman on International Women's Day.
I didn't say I hate Catwoman.
He loves Catwoman.
I do hate the Catwoman film. Yes, that's a terrible.
Yeah,
film.
well, that's probably worthy of hatred. That's a
tough
stinker.
one.
That's a stinker.
The editing in that is fantastic.
So, have y'all heard that maybe the Court of Owls will be the next villain?
I've heard him say a million things.
Yeah, I've heard him. I heard him say he liked Hush. I've heard him say he liked Court of Owls.
Mr.
I've heard
Freeze.
Pattinson say he wants to be in Dune. I mean, that's basically
Wants to be Fade or whatever his name is.
Oh,
yeah.
Barry Keoghan wants to be that too as well. So
everybody wants to be in Dune.
No, I heard they were going to bring Zack Snyder back and it was going to be the Owls of Ga'Hoole. Now is that
the Owls of Ga'Hoole? I watched that for the first time last year, just because it's the only Zack Snyder film I hadn't seen, and I'm a stupid completist. So it was like on Stars or something. It was available.
He's got like a cut he hasn't released that he's talked about.
Oh, he's got
the Snyder cut. Oh, is there a Snyder cut of the
Owls of Ga'Hoole?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I would watch that.
The 4 hours of Ga'Hoole.
I think it's more
owls have
too.
knives and they just cut each other in half.
It's actually R-rated.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Owls are just taking the other owls' heads off with their talons. Yeah. The talons are like this long.
I'd watch it.
Biting
I'd watch
each other's,
that.
yes.
Court of Owls is a new 52 villain. It was introduced. I have the actual issues. They're apparently worth something now, which is kind of funny.
I don't believe you. Go get them. We're messing with Garrison tonight.
He tore all the pages. They're not worth anything anymore. He tore all the pages out with female characters.
Well,
poor Garrison.
All the owlets are not in there anymore.
The owlets. Is that like the California raisins?
Yeah, it's the dancing part of the owls. Yeah, they do like stage shows and stuff.
Look, I need to know, Ryfin and Roth. Ryfin and Roth, did you know the California raisins reference?
What? Huh? What are you talking about?
I said something about the California raisins. Do you know what that
film.
is?
You're gonna have to be specific.
Never mind.
Was there a commercial with a dancing raisin?
There was some dancing raisins that sang. That's why when you said owlets, I said like the California raisins. They were like a Motown.
Is it something like TV in the background?
Jacob, just say say okay, boomer.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should say right now. Okay, boomer. Ask your dad about the California raisins.
I have some in the box around here somewhere.
I don't believe you. No.
Go get him.
Go get him. Ryfin, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I don't even know.
You were talking about the Court of
Owls. The owls and...
yeah,
so
I mean, Court of Owls was introduced in New 52.
Why is everybody so obsessed with them?
Because it was a good storyline.
It's a great story,
like here's the thing: New 52 absolutely sucked. It sucked a lot.
That's how you really feel.
Sorry, I'm keeping it PG. And the only good thing that came out of it were Batman storylines, really, to me. And the Court of Owls was probably the best one. It was like the first one, which is not a good sign for that era of comics. But
now, did they do that on the newest season of Titans? Because I watched like the first 2 episodes.
I have no idea. Did they?
I saw somebody saying
no. There was no
about
Court of Owls that I recall. No, not that I can recall.
They had
there was some mention.
They had the
They're
red
like an
hood.
underground society that.
Yeah, they had the red hood, but he wasn't part of the Court of Owls, was he?
No,
I don't think he was.
He's not a part of Court of Owls.
Okay.
He was, yeah.
No, they wear white owl masks.
Yeah.
And
There's a
have
wrestler
talons and
that
stuff like
does that.
and-
Anyway.
Big pointy teeth.
All right. Let's see. We're at an
we've
hour.
Exhausted.
I need to defend myself really quickly. Yeah,
Okay.
Look, I love Linda
Go
Park
ahead.
West. I love Ira West. Those are great female characters in the comics.
Who?
Those are descendants of I'm assuming
Wally's
an
wife,
Iris West, yeah.
Wally's wife and Wally's daughter.
And her name's Ira.
Iris.
Iris West. No. Iris is
Berries.
Berries.
Oh, sorry.
Linda Park West is Wally's wife. And Ira West is Wally's daughter.
Oh, see, I don't know all this.
These are good characters.
Yeah.
They're well-written female characters.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm just trying to support you.
I actually think
we're giving you an out, Garrison.
Wally's the current main Flash.
Thank
in the
you,
comics.
Matt.
I think
Thank
Ira
you.
is actually being well written. I think she's going to take over the mantle at some point. I actually am interested in that. It's interesting to me.
Matt's following me. He saw what I did there.
Oh, did you do a Python reference?
I did a little Python.
I missed your Python reference.
I did too.
Dang it.
I'll have to watch this whole thing back.
It's gone
I'll have to
now.
watch the whole thing back just so I can get your Python reference.
Yes, but anyway, Catwoman wasn't needed. So,
final thoughts. Catwoman wasn't needed.
One man's opinion.
All right.
I definitely needed to see Zoe Kravitz in this movie.
Yes.
in which wig?
Wow.
The pink one.
Oh, the pink. Yes, definitely the pink one. That was a good look. Roth, final thoughts. Any final thoughts?
Yes, it was good. I'm going to feel like Scott Rifen here. It was a very dark movie. Brighten it up a little bit. Let me be able to see something. I couldn't see anything.
That's a pretty good.
But
that might be the
My dad has ever said that.
I've never heard him
Solo.
say that.
That's all I talked about. Solo.
Oh, for Solo, you're right. He did say that a lot for Solo.
I think that was the projector at the theater.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of times that does have to do with the projector that you're watching, and if the theater has any idea,
they
how to
need good
calibrate
bulbs.
Yeah,
Well,
they have
I'm in
no
my
idea.
so
setting
not.
for eco stuff or whatever, eco setting.
Do you guys know? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I thought they did a very good job of not making it rated R, keeping it like that PG-13. And
I want a rated R cut. There's got to be a rated R cut. That's not your dad, by the way. That's just stupid nerds on the internet.
No,
I think that's important for most superhero movies is to keep it where like a 10-year-old can go see it eventually.
Well, I don't know
like,
if it's
no, but like,
learn how to
10
duct
to
tape
14,
faces.
like somewhere around there, like
12
where
is
it's not.
12 is the magic number.
Yeah, 12 is a better number. I don't know ages. I don't have kids. But yeah, so I liked it a fair amount. I don't think it.
It's just.
I would not put him
Wait a minute,
anywhere
Dave.
close to.
Dave.
Change your name. Change your name. That's not true. Change your name. That's not fair. Rifen is a huge fan of the other Bolin girl.
Who?
I don't know.
Like
That's a movie, right?
Licorice Pizza.
There you go.
His favorite Ghostbusters movie came out in 2016.
That's right.
Ocean's 8
That's
is
worse.
the
He's
best
like,
Oceans.
Yeah, that's even worse. He's like, no, I hate women. I hate women.
I'm not sure if David's
He's like, yeah, he loves Amy Schumer.
Rhett is Garrison's real dad.
Oh my gosh.
Garrison's
355
watching the
best movie of
Oscars
the
this
year.
year because Amy Schumer is hosting.
The 355 best movie ever.
No, Simon Kinberg's trash. Oh.
Dude. Well, he's a good producer. He needs to stay away from directing. All right. Dr. Earl, thoughts. Final thoughts. Final.
What?
This is it. Last chance.
I love the movie. I'm not gonna. I'll go see it again. I wanna.
Oh, you are gonna go see it again.
I would like to. I think there's like some things that along the way that as we talk, I'm like, I really want to understand some of the things you guys are talking about. Like, Matt, we're glad to have you here, man.
We are really.
Trust me,
you're the only
really
one.
Glad.
We're glad that you're here.
Because it'll probably be deleted immediately after this.
Guys, I'm gonna need you to not get me canceled on Twitter like Sean.
I don't even care.
What's your address? I'll go ahead and start doxing you.
108. No.
Dox you. I like it. I give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. All right, Rhett, final thoughts.
It exceeded my expectations. I did not think it was perfect. I enjoyed the noir take on it. I liked the investigation, the detective work, weak Bruce Wayne, passable Batman. I like watching Zoe Kravitz walk around, and that was it. I don't know that I would see it again. I don't need to see it again in the theater for sure. If it's on TV, I watch it.
With commercials.
Right? Yeah. I need a good 5.5 hours of it.
The TNT on TNT
time.
Yeah. Formatted to but yeah, no, it was good, not great.
I hear you. Dave, final thoughts.
When Freeform shows Harry Potter movies, they'll take Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and make them literally 5 hours, like just because of commercials.
So they don't want to cut it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this movie likely will be a 6-hour in like 2027 on Freeform. I like this movie. It far exceeded my expectations, but to be fair, my expectations were pretty low. I was not excited about this film at all. Because of various reasons, but it really did exceed my expectations. Like I said, not a good Bruce Wayne, but a great Batman. I liked what they did with the story. I like what they tried to do with the story, and even where it maybe fell short for me, I liked the attempt. I appreciate what they were trying to do with this, and I really dug that versus just being the same old. Saw my parents get murdered. Now I'm going to develop a Batman. I have all this high tech stuff now. Now, whatever. They took different risks, and I appreciate that. I really did. I liked it. I will not watch it again. It's too long. But I like it.
I might watch it again. Not in the theater though.
I'll watch it at home.
Yeah, HBO Max. It comes on. I'll maybe my wife wants to watch it. I'll watch it with her. I'm not going back to see it.
Yeah.
My final thoughts. I think the best storyline was the Catwoman storyline. I really connected to the Catwoman storyline. So that was my absolute favorite. I'm really looking forward to more Catwoman stories.
Dude, you just like watching her on screen. You didn't like the storyline. Get out of here.
I liked the Carmine Falcone and I liked all of that. I thought it worked. I mean, I had no problem with it. I had no problem with it at all. Thought it worked fine. And I guess I should have done. I'm so bad at this. Garrison, where can people find you on the internet?
Did you
to dox you?
First off,
doesn't he get to say what he thought?
He already did. He hates Catwoman.
He started us off.
I'm just kidding.
Let me just say the Bruce scene between Falcone and Bruce, that's a better Falcone scene than the one at Catwoman and Falcone, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just one man's opinion.
Yeah, right. It is. It is one man's opinion. Correct.
Emphasis on the man.
I didn't want to go there. They did set up no man's land at the end of the film. They sort of did that with the
Garrison, a huge Catman fan.
Yeah, would have been better with the Catman.
You guys know I hate Shuri.
Wow.
No, just anyway.
Hasn't even seen Black Widow yet.
Oh, dude, I am a huge Florence Pugh stan. I know.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You can find me on Twitter where I actually tweeted about Florence Pugh last at grifen3. My Instagram is also grifen3. I've not posted there in like 4 years. I'll probably post there soon. You can find me on Letterboxd at grifen and on the Deucecast Discord.
Roth.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Roth from Wyoming. You can listen to my podcast, The Good Day for a Movie podcast. Our last episode was on the Oscar predictions with the one and only Michael Knipp. And I have to say, it is our best performing episode ever.
Wow.
Really?
Really?
I saw that you had a ton of views on that thing on YouTube.
90.
How did you get 90 views?
I don't know. It was before I even tagged the video. It just came up in the search.
Okay, so
40 of those are by Craig Harmon.
The algorithm got you.
Someone's going to put your Power of the Dog comments out there on Twitter like they did Sam Elliott.
Good. Hopefully that it gets the podcast some traction and we start to get some listeners. I think the next episode is actually, once again, going to be on the Batman because...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
More to say.
What is going on?
Garrison with the Joker laugh.
Me too.
Garrison's. We've lost Garrison.
We've lost him.
You're welcome.
Joker laugh.
Man.
Your dad is gonna be so ticked off
down there. Doing that Deucecast thing again. They're canceled.
Oh, he can't breathe. Look what you've done to him. Wow. Earl, you're nowhere on the.
I'm a nowhere man.
You are smarter than the rest of us. Yeah, you're on Discord.
Not often, but
not all the time. Rhett, if you want to tell people where to find it,
just find it on. You'll know if you know it. You know it. It's on OnlyFans.
CTI on a few podcast platforms.
I'd pay for some Rhett content.
Oh, I forgot to tell. I mean, that's kind of like the CTI. We're behind the OnlyFans paywall now. I mean, that's.
That's where you can go get new CTI content.
That's where you see
up on OnlyFans.
That's what we call it.
Dave.
Find me. I'll throw my podcast voice in there. Find me on Instagram at The Magic on a Dollar. Find me on Facebook, Disney on a Dollar and Magic on a Dollar. Of course, I have a podcast, the Main Street Electrical Podcast, coming out every Thursday. Me and Jen talk about pop culture, Disney, and travel, and all kinds of fun stuff. And of course, find me all over the Deucecast stuff, thedeucecast.com.
In general, I've just been coming back from the Galactic Star Cruiser, right?
Yes, that's going to be the
I was following along on Instagram. I'm very intrigued.
Oh, that's right. She got to go on that.
She did. She paid for it too. So it'll be
talking about
a real review, not an influencer review. So,
well,
wait. Give us a hint. What does she think? I mean, like,
oh yeah. What did
she think about it?
It's a good review.
Yay or nay?
There are pros and cons, but it's a good
after
review.
Dropping $6,000 on it.
It's a good review. So, yep.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I look forward to hearing that. So every Tuesday we try and do something on here. So next Tuesday, since we don't have Moon Knight yet, that's not till March 30th. I was going to say we're going to do Catwoman 2004. So we're going to.
I would be up for that. I would watch that just for this purpose.
Don't cats like throw up in her mouth or what? I know.
That's a bird. Birds do that.
Hairball.
No,
it's not the Catwoman I watch.
The basketball scene's
that's the only fan.
The basketball scene is, and then the catnip when she gets the catnip on her and she starts. Good heavens! I'm just like I'm embarrassed for everyone associated with this movie, top to bottom.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so Rifle,
we could take.
What do you recommend we talk about
Chain
next Tuesday?
restaurant.
Okay,
Chain restaurant.
Hey, I've got notes that are Marvel in 2022 and Star Wars in 2022. Maybe we could break those up over 2 weeks, if that sounds cool to you, or we do.
Just like talk about what's coming this year. Mm-hmm. Is that what we said we were going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
About Wyoming basketball.
If he's on this show, they'll lose. So we don't want to. We need Wyoming to win. So we don't want him to be on this show. So all right. So we'll okay. So Marvel 2022. We'll talk about all the stuff that's coming. Marvel 2022. That'll at least kill some time until we get to Moon Knight. So that'll be good. So we will be back then next Tuesday at around this same time.
I'll type up those notes and send them to you.
There's going to be far less people on that show. So we won't have all 6 of us on that show, but we'll have a combination of some sort on that show. David, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
It was fun. Put a little chloroform on my kid, knocked him out, came straight in here.
Whatever.
He's autistic.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
You should run for Congress saying things like that.
That's right.
Dave, you know this is on the. Okay, never mind. I mean, some people will eventually see it.
I'm just gonna hold up a puzzle piece, and I'll be safe.
We don't have. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. He's got a blue porch light. You can't touch him.
All right. That's the.
Speak for me. Anyway.
All right.